3, 2, 1. What is up, Cabbage Crew? It is Matt and John here reacting to Dragon Prince Season 3, Episode 2, The Crown. I think we can both agree that we're not huge fans of Episode 1. It was a decent start, but nothing that rocked our worlds, let's say.
I thought you were going to say that, yeah, we're just not fans of the show.
No,
I was going to be really concerned with what you were going to end
fans
that
of the
with.
show. I think Season 2 is great. I think if you made all of Season 2 plus the first episode of Season 1, there's only been 2 week episodes. Unfortunately, one of them was the one we just watched. You did not need
to defend yourself there.
So, I'm just letting you know. Subscribe, comment below, tell us anything we say wrong, because we've been mispronouncing names and story arcs, and that's it up here and there.
Yeah, Matt and I are just country bumpkins. He's downtown Baltimore. I'm downtown Pittsburgh.
Country bumpkins? Yeah. Yes, definitely. All right, well, anything you want to say before we start? Or are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Ready to go. Beautiful.
I got my pop. If you're from the Midwest, it's pop.
Mm-hmm.
Got my pop in hand, ready to get this show on the road.
Beautiful. All right. Well, I'm ready when you are. The disrespect that they give bait sometimes.
I know. Was this Avatar again?
Kind of reminds me of the Spirit World for Korra.
Spirit, yes. And Avatar.
Yep, that's Sadia.
Wait, Way of Water.
Show you something special.
Really? What is it?
It's a surprise.
What?
All these innuendos. Oh, it's veering time.
Nope. Is it? I feel like that's what was missing last episode.
Oh yeah. I mean, there was like that one scene, but that was about it.
Yeah. Because the entire series, we just went back to him and.
Of course.
May I have another?
The king requests another tart of jelly.
You don't have to repeat everything I say.
The king requests that you stop repeating. I realized as soon as I said it.
Wouldn't he be giving him?
We have as many tarts as
You would think he'd been doing that even if he was a prince. When he was the prince, you would think.
All packed for your journey to the throne? No thanks.
Don't worry, we can have as many as we want.
I wasn't worried.
That's not Corvus, is it? That's Corvus?
Yeah.
Good morning, King.
Who is this? They never really explained.
We never introduced her. They never really.
Yeah, I think she's just maybe one of the councilmen.
Attended by the council itself and necessary security, and no others, unless specifically requested by the king.
Oh, well, I'd like to request Corvus to come specifically.
That checks out.
That must feel weird as a 10-year-old, just like, or an 8-year-old, just like sitting on the throne that your father once stood like a week ago.
Which is odd. What I find odd is that they didn't really treat him, and Callum too, but really him like a prince. Like you would think they would be doing all this stuff even when he was a prince.
You're right.
Think how they treat Azula.
Right.
The Crow Lord isn't here. He's taking a personal day.
And
you are the Crow Master. It's similar, kind of like his number 2. If the Crow Lord were to die or to be otherwise incapacitated.
Okay, yes, I think we understand. Can you please read the king his messages?
The Crow Lord's been gone for like a week.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely Avatar vibes. Which I didn't like the Spirit World from Avatar Korra.
No.
Rayla,
this is fine.
It kind of makes sense in this show, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's even worse. I wish Ez were here to smell this. He'd love it.
Assassins.
What?
There have been attacks in other kingdoms. Successful attacks. King Florian and Queen Farida are dead. King Aling is gravely injured.
That was
Viren.
War on all of humanity. We are in the middle of an important discussion.
Oh no.
We've arrested 2 traitors. We need the king's judgment immediately.
Throw them a feast. How did she actually think he was going to do that?
What's going on? Why are they chained up?
When Dad sent us after the princes.
Viren sent you after the princes?
Sent is a strong word. My point is, he wanted us to rescue the princes, not kill them.
Kill them? Who said anything about killing the princes?
No one. That's what I'm saying. Or not saying. Soren, help! Tell them we didn't do anything wrong.
My king, you need to make a decision.
Okay, but let them rest while I decide. Get them some food.
Throw them a feast.
Throw them a feast.
This is a mistake. They're too dangerous. You can't just release them.
Fine. Fine. Keep the chains on. Until I can make up my mind. I'm sorry.
Keep us like this. We're prisoners in our own home.
Well, at least we have bread. We're still gonna give us bread in the dungeon, right?
We're not going to the dungeon, Soren. We didn't do anything wrong.
Claudia, I told you. Dad wanted me to kill the princes. That means we're guilty. At least I am.
No, you're not. I don't know if you misunderstood or misremembered or mislistened, but there's no way Dad would tell you to do that.
Though.
Doesn't matter anyway.
Why are you stacking the bread like that?
It's a bread sandwich.
I mean, if you get a different type of bread in the middle.
Like a rye or a whole wheat.
Yes, I'm happy to meet you.
Very interesting that there's mutual respect.
My army stands outside your city gates, at the ready.
Because of how young he is and being a kid.
A week ago, your regent called on us to unite against the rising Zadian threat.
No! The people of the human kingdoms and Zadia want peace.
Oh, here we go.
I'm missing something. Why is the child on the throne now? And you have failed as a son.
Okay, there's the manipulation.
You have a disagreement, but you are in the court of King Ezran.
He's the son of...
He's the son of Aling.
So that was... Aling was the one that was, like, on Viren's side, and then, like, maybe kind of semi-changed his mind.
I think so. I'll be honest.
Because the black and gold, I feel like that's what he was. Remember the bigger guy who was like, oh, my son couldn't even say half of those things. Doesn't even know what half of those things are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now it looks like the majority of the kings and queens are all kids now because all the kings and queens got murdered.
For
you already have Anya.
With the queens on the throne, we pop champagne.
You have Anya. You have Ezran. And then I forgot his name, but you have him.
Aling. Or son of Aling.
Yeah, son of Aling. And then you have, they all got murdered besides one that got injured. And there's 5 kingdoms. So it seems like the majority of them are like all going to be younger, which is an interesting way to make kids the kings, is just have all their parents get assassinated at once. Interesting.
Especially by Viren, who is a mischievous character and doing it behind everybody's backs.
Yeah. I mean, this is what he wanted, right? He wanted all the kings get murdered. So it looked like it was a attack.
Because he wants chaos. He wants kids in control so that they make dumb decisions. Because he thinks that they'll make dumb decisions by being the rulers and being taken advantage of.
See, I don't think he wants chaos. I for some reason or another, which again I kind of semi agree with him, but like he wants war upon Zadia. Like he wants the humans to attack and have war.
Right, but
So by him
that
killing,
breeds chaos, though. Like he wants.
well, I guess
I understand that's not his main point. I'm not saying that's his main point at all.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's beneath the surface. That's what's going to be.
Yeah, but I don't think he killed. See, I think he killed the kings and everything to make it so that he's essentially framing because his king died from an
you're right.
assassination.
No, I know.
So
Yeah.
it looks like they're killing them all so that he
Yes.
wants war. Now I don't know what his end game is. I don't know if he's just trying to have humans take over the land and get rid of all the elves. I don't know if he has more of a diabolical plan of him taking over everything, or I don't really know. It just seems as though he wants humans to be on the offensive instead of sitting back and waiting for their kings to be assassinated, which again, like I kind of sort of agree with. So.
I just really appreciate the music in this show. I really do. It's like you're on a quest. It's like you're in a video game.
Yeah. I've always liked the quest shows.
Yeah.
You know, Avatar.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is a big one. Avatar early on had that.
As long as you hold on tight.
That's why, like, I thought this show was going to be the entire series was going to be them trying to get to, you know, from one corner of the world to the next corner of the world, but it seems like they're going to be there pretty quick. I mean, they might be there this episode. This tree is huge. That's a seed.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Okay, it was a bumpy ride.
Little blushing going on. Little blush.
Just focus on growing up.
You're saying a region?
Yes. Someone you trust. You choose who it is. For a few years, the crown will be.
I swear to God.
When you're ready.
Fearing.
I swear. It might be her.
I always think that there's like some type of manipulation tactic. Like, is she? We don't know this girl. Is she like actually?
We don't know anything.
Well, the only one I actually trust is Corvus.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we've had time with him, and he shows that he actually cares about these kids.
Yep.
Or Aunt Maya's in a different castle.
Amaya might be good.
Yeah, but she's a ruler of a different kingdom. I don't know if she's a ruler, but she lives in a different kingdom. She's not the ruler there.
Karibo.
I was playing an arcade game, and on it had a character that looked like Karibo.
Really?
Like the other day, yeah.
They're
So the brown one looks just like Karibo.
Love them.
He's gonna like hurt him. Huh. Interesting. He's like all depressed. He's like, I should have stayed.
Like, while Callum and Rayla have all the fun, Ezran's over here having to make life and death decisions.
Should we murder them?
Have you given thought to what we discussed?
Oh.
I have. And I have something to say. Know that my dad had to make very hard decisions. I need books of wisdom. I haven't gone through the things that made my father the king he was. So I've decided that I don't have to be the king my father was. My father made choices to keep fighting battles that started hundreds of years before he was born. To punish enemies for crimes their parents committed. I don't want to be that kind of king.
Yeah.
Set them free. Soren and Claudia will not pay for the mistakes their father made.
But your highness, they're criminals.
I don't know if I want to clap at that.
Katalis will not go to war. I'm sorry about what happened to your father. and what happened to mine. But we don't have to avenge them.
We're not the Avengers.
We don't have to strike back. We can choose peace.
He definitely disagrees with it. Yeah.
Well, I guess the way he also looks at it is that, and we can stop it here. A way of looking at it is if it causes war, he knows Rayla's good, so he's like, the elf people, the elves, Rayla's a good person, so they have good and evil in them as well.
Right.
Well, what do you think about his decision? You seemed hype. You were pumped about it.
No, because I said I didn't know if I wanted to clap at that. I agree with him not going to war, but setting Claudia and Soren free, I disagree with. I think they should have served some time, not maybe for life or anything like that. It's like if you're an accomplice, but you don't know. But if you don't know much in a crime, yeah, you should obviously still be punished for what you did. I mean, you can say so much. You can say so many things about the Nazis, like the ones that didn't know anything.
Yeah,
but they let things happen.
Well, this is the problem with their situation. They had different tasks. Like Claudia was never supposed to murder. She was just trying to get the egg and get it back. So she wasn't trying to murder anybody. She did nothing wrong in the sense of trying to hurt the king or she was literally, her task was to go there, manipulate them, get the egg / dragon and get back.
You're right. Yep.
And
Soren's
was get the kids back, and if they don't come with you, kill them.
Right.
And
so he's the one that should be punished then.
Yeah, so they should be two different punishments. The problem is we know that they already are on a side of redemption.
Oh, easily, 100%.
So it's like where and Ezran kind of knows too.
Yeah.
At least So
there's good inside them. It's just like Zuko. Like there's good inside them. It's just that it needs to be. They need to have the opportunity to get it out in the open and let it take place and take hold and flourish. So
yeah.
Then now that you mentioned like two separate crimes, quote unquote, like Claudia needs to get
crimes.
Claudia needs to be set free, and Soren should pay some kind of punishment, probably, obviously on a way lesser scale, but maybe not necessarily a way lesser scale, but just a lesser scale, and than Viren for sure. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean,
like what that looks like, I don't know, because I just don't know this world and their judicial system. But
right.
But I mean, if you're talking about like U.S. judicial system, 5 to 10 years hard labor in medieval times. That's my guess.
Yeah, it's just so tough because. Yeah, it is tough because they were. I would say Claudia gets off pretty much with nothing.
I agree. Yeah,
and then I would say that Soren, right? I would say Soren. To be honest, if I was them, what I would make Soren do is go to Aunt Maya's. I don't think she's not a ruler. I think she just is at the nearby. She's like the head of the nearby military base.
Yeah,
it seems like. I would make him go there and work for her.
That is, he has to be guarded by somebody.
Of course, yeah, but you're distancing yourself from her, from Claudia. You're distancing yourself from anything around. Because the problem is, you keep him here. If he really is an accomplice, Viren's here. Right, so you completely keep him away from Viren, and she's not going to be next to her nonstop, but he's just going to be like part of the force there, and maybe doing I say bitch work, but maybe doing bitch work there. Like he's on the front guard, he's on the front line. fighting elves. Like he hates elves. Like, hey, you're the whole point of you being there is so like he's on the front line protecting with dozens of other people.
My only problem is
he hasn't shown. Sorry, cut off, because he hasn't shown that he hates humans. So it's not like he would let the elves come in. Like if anything, he has shown that he hates elves more than they want him to hate elves.
The only problem I have is that when you give him that responsibility, is that he has the potential to break free and escape. So I think the intention is good.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's viable to take up the risk of, like he'll be watched, he'll be chained, but like it takes one human error to set him free.
But I wouldn't even say he's not a free man. Like it's think of it like in our world, in our aspect. If you do something wrong, like let's say you do something bad, and it's not like you didn't murder anybody, you didn't do a huge crime, but it was bad, right? But it was kind of an odd crime,
like
it was
theft, like theft.
No, like you were part of the reason. You were a part of why that CEO got assassinated. You didn't pull the trigger, but maybe you were an accomplice. Like maybe you gave him information of where he would be,
or gave him the bullets, or gave him the gun.
Right, and it's like you gave him the information of where he'd be at. Like, hey, man, I'm not going to murder him, but I'm going to let you know where he's going to be at. So then, and that is the time where you can do it. And it's like, well, we're not going to put you in jail forever, but we can actually use you for our military and use you. You're going to be in freaking Iraq, or you're going to be across the seas working for us. And you can, hey, if you want to run away, like go have fun. Like you can be there. Like, like you're a free man. So in a sense.
You'd be willing to take the risk of like him killing other people,
but he's not going to kill other people.
He might if he gets set free, he can kill a few.
But they already know they already know he was an accomplice of Viren's, and they already know Viren's whole thing was because he wanted to kill the elves. Like I don't think they think that he's a danger to other humans.
Well, I'm just saying I would.
If anything, the only human that they think that he's danger to is Ezran, and he's going to be in a completely different location. He's going to be, for all we know, hundreds of miles away. So, or at least 50 miles away. I don't know where that place is. Unfortunately, we don't really have a good landscape of the map. But he's, so it's like, again, it kind of goes back to the World War II thing you were talking about. It's like, instead of throwing these guys in jail, let's use them. And they used them for their military. They used them for different things. And some of them they threw in jail, and some of them they probably gave, life in prison. But the ones they felt like they could utilize, they used them, and they just kept a close eye on them. And they probably didn't give them, a lot of perks and stuff. I don't really know. But, it's like, look, you have this military guy. He's probably kind of a high-ranked person. He was an accomplice of something. Let's keep him away from the king, but still utilize him. And I mean, if he wants to run away, fine, he's a free man. But if he runs away, what's he going to run into?
Right.
Like the elf, the sun elf territory. like where is he going? So that's how I would maybe play the card. It's better than,
it's risky. I personally think it's risky, but
setting him free is risky too.
I never said he should be set free. I just think he needs to be closer to the castle or something. Yeah. Or like the boiling rock of the Dragon Prince, if that makes sense.
So I guess my only issue with that is if you make Claudia knows dark magic, so if you make Claudia free and him not free, then the chances of her backstabbing you and getting him out and doing something stupid flies up. Where if you say, hey, you guys can be free, but we can't have you at the castle, we have to separate you guys at least for the next 5 years. He's going to be working on the military base with Antamaya, stopping elves, sun elves. And you're going to be here providing us information on dark magic. You can still use your dark magic for, so we can learn it more and we can use it for defense. But we're not going to, but if we utilize your strengths without putting you in jail, because if you put you in jail, then,
I have the same mindset as you. I just disagree with the choice, like the choice behind it.
Yeah, throw him a feast.
A feast.
All right,
Which
cool. Well,
Ezran did tell him to.
Yeah, no, tell him.
Yeah.
It wasn't far off. All right, guys. Well, comment below. I know you guys have probably already seen the show, but act like you never seen the show before. And if you were Ezran, what would you do in this situation? Is it something closer to me or John, or is it something closer to Ezran, or is it a brand new idea that you just thought of? So,
yeah, would you
below.
have set Soren and Claudia free? Would you have executed them right then and there? Would you? Would you throw them a feast? Would
throw them a feast? Also, subscribe, comment, and the little bell notification. Put that on there too. But yeah, I mean, anything else you want to say, Joe?
Nope. We are ready to rumble.
Beautiful. All right, see you guys.